This enchanted lullaby.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is. And each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted lullaby. This enchanted lullaby.
You know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Tony, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.
Let's talk about the Mandela Effect. All right, so the Mandela Effect, we're gonna look up the actual definition or what the experts or have summarized what the Mandela Effect to be. But overall, is that you remember they always blame humanity. The Draconians always blame humanity, that it's our faulty minds and everything else. But it's that there are events that have happened in reality that a large portion of the population have all said it happened a very specific way. So it's not just one person. It's not even just 5 people. It's hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people have said, I've seen this a certain way. Okay. And yet they have contradictory evidence of it that it's different now. So let me give you a good example of it. Okay. Let me give you a good example. Okay. Right here. This is a very good example. Fruit of the loom. For example, when I grew up, I always remembered it with the concopia here. Okay. With this thing you see in the back there. Okay. But in reality, this is supposedly how it is over here. But millions of people remember it like this over here. Okay. They remember this one here. Not over here like this. Okay. This is the one supposedly in reality. And I believe supposedly Fruit of the Loom now puts the concopia there now after the fact. Okay. But this is an example of that. Okay. Another example is it deals with the Bernstein Bears. Let me see that. Okay. That was a big one as well. Some of these are newer ones. Okay. So this is a good example one here. Okay. So this one here, you see here, some people remember as the Bernstein Bears, the other ones were Bernstein Bears. Okay. That's another example there. Okay. Another example of it is dealing with the reason I call it Mandela effect, because supposedly, this is what I remember, is that Mandela died in prison. Okay. Like decades ago. But in reality, he actually didn't die in prison. He died years later. Okay. But millions of people.
I remember that too, Tom.
You remember that too? What's up, Rick?
I remember that too. What's going on? Yeah, I remember the Looney Tunes. I remember Mandela died in prison. I remember the Bears being, I think it was Stein, not Steen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And Tunes, you know, how Looney Tunes is spelled. So mm-hmm. Yeah, the Mandela effect is definitely weird in itself.
Okay, so there you go. So many of you do know this, right? And which I do as well. I remember some of these things. The Bernstein Bears one, not so much, but the other two, I most definitely remember. Okay, and so like here's another example of the Bernstein Bears there, right? Like I do kind of recall this one over here, kind of, but I don't really recall that one a whole lot. But I do recall the Fruit of the Loom for sure. Okay, with the concopia there. Okay, cornucopia, whatever how you pronounce that there, and the Mandela actually dying, okay, in prison, okay? So let's go to with the definition of, just so we can have it here, right? Define Mandela effect, okay? Just so we can have it here so we can all be on the same page and I just go off my definition, okay? The Mandela effect.
The one that got me, Tony, was Darth Vader never saying anything about he's his father.
Right.
That one really, I was like, there's no way. I was like, no possible way that exists, because I used to crack jokes all the time about it.
Most certainly.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
You know, when I was in the military, you know, it was a running gag of "I'm your father." You know, when you try to punk somebody or whatever.
1000%.
Wow.
So this is the thing here, right? So again, shout out to you, Mike. Glad you're here as well. Okay, so yeah, and Rick as well. Let's see who else is here at this point. Tay, good to see you there as well. Christy, what's up? Okay, Maricela, and we see I have a bunch of numbers here. Daily, I see you there, and a bunch of other numbers. So shout out to everybody who is present this evening. Okay, so now for just so we all could be on the same page with this, because some of you may be hearing this for the first time. So I'm just going to read the actual definition so you just don't go off of what I interpret the Mandela effect to be. Okay. The Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people, again, we're talking about a lot of people here, okay, from all across the world, different belief systems, different cultures, different age groups, different ethnicities, okay, different, the two different genders, okay, everything, right? So a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. Looking at the origin of the Mandela effect, some famous examples as well as some potential explanations for this strange confluence of perceptions can help to shed light on this unique phenomenon. Okay? So, I'm going to read this other one here too. The Mandela effect refers to when a large number of people, which we just said, share a false memory, originally attributed to the existence of multiple universes. It's not that. I'm going to give you all my theory of what's actually taking place. Okay. And based on my research, and I think I'm close to it. Okay. Anyways, existence of multiple universes. What is hot? Okay. What is hot? Where? What is hot? Where? Okay. Is it just me, or I'm seeing a lot of people making weird, like, as they're writing sentences and stuff, it's like it's worded strangely, where you kind of got to go back and read it again. I'm noticing this all over the place, okay? Where it's not just because this person over here or this person over there may be just, they just write strange. No, but this is a common thing, okay? Where everywhere you look now, you're starting to see just strange writing behavior, if you noticed, okay? That's a little strange. Because like you see here, right? You've seen this for yourself right here, right? What is hot where? Okay. So this has happened now, like maybe 2-3 times in this conversation that we're having tonight, where I have to kind of go back to and go what, and say, oh yeah, they mean this. Okay, that's a little strange. That's what we call a nuance in the algorithmic research foundation. Okay, that's a nuance. So let's continue on here. So what is hot where? Whatever that's supposed to mean. Okay, so does Mandela effect come from? So where does Mandela effect come from? Okay. It comes from, let's see, the former president of South Africa and anti-apartheid revolutionary Nelson Mandela died at age 95 of respiratory infection. Okay. Instead of in prison. Okay. Or whatever. So, okay. So let's talk about CERN. Okay. So first, what is CERN? So we all could be on the same page with that. Okay. Or, yeah, I just do it that way at first. What is CERN? CERN's main function is to provide the particle accelerators and other infrastructure needed for high energy physics research. As a result, numerous experiments have been constructed at CERN through international collaborations. CERN is the site of the Large Hadron Collider, the world's largest and highest energy particle collider, okay? And that is right here, okay? So it's this big, it's huge, okay? You see it, this circle here is it. It's humongous, okay? And this is what it kind of looks like in the inside, almost like a Stargate, coincidentally. Okay, let's look up Stargate, okay? Many of you remember Stargate, the series? Okay, they all different ones. Some of you also check out Stargate Universe. That's more of a series that it didn't last long at all. They only did like maybe one season, and then maybe I think 1 or 2 episodes in season 2, and then this went off the air. You know, okay, that's actually excellent. So here's the Stargate here. Okay, so we see the Stargate there. Here's the hydrogen collider. You know, this seems a little similar to me. You know, what's going on there? I don't know. Okay. Maybe this is my mind doing this again. It does it at times.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
Okay, so, all right, let's continue on here. All right. So, in the process of Cern doing that, something happened here. Okay. I surmise that in them hitting particles together, right, through the Stargate, all right, as far as this technological created fallen angel Stargate, right? And them hitting their particles together, right? What I think is that what we're experiencing here with the Mandela effect here, see, okay, supposedly, right, in the physics field, in the quantum mechanics theories and things, right, that you supposedly, at least what they publicly say anyway, that there's a danger in messing with time because you can throw off whole timelines by interacting, for example, with yourself. So if you went back in time and you've seen yourself, right, it can throw off everything. Okay, in the superhuman classes, some of you who have come to that, you would know it in that segment that I used to talk about the enigmas. Okay, it's dealing with that. The enigmas are more so a natural occurrence. People who should have been wiped out, okay, or taken off, killed, or died somehow. They were supposed to die, or they were supposed to get murdered, something like that. At a certain point in time, it's already been written for that to happen, but they don't. So they become an enigma. So that means that every person this person talks to, everything this person does, it creates shifts in the reality. Okay? The reality does not like enigmas at all, period. And the reality tries to do what they can to take out an enigma immediately because as far as the time agents, the agents of time, right? It wasn't a movie called Time Agents. Let's look that up. In my memory here, I swear I've seen a movie, Time Agents. This is called Predestination. This is a temporal agent sent on an intricate series of time travel journeys designed to play. Okay. Interesting. I remember something. There was also a movie where a person let's see here. Let me try one more thing. I don't know. I remember something dealing with an agent in time. Okay, but nevertheless, these are 2 movies that hey, maybe you all want to check out. They seem interesting. Okay, so anyhow, let's move on here. So supposedly, the Enigma, who I just told you about. Okay, the Enigmas, um, they're rare. That's a rare occurrence because most of the time, those things that are supposedly written by the scribe on Mount High, those things tend to happen. Okay, so the CERN hydrogen collider, as we're looking at here, okay, if it's true that in messing with time, okay, if that is true, okay, so if that is true, then you have to be careful, okay, You have to be very careful. So if you do have to be very careful because in messing with time is literally just that dangerous and you are a scientist, what would you do? Just think about this, right? Follow me on this yellow brick road here. Since many of you know I am a scientist, right? And factually actually do experiments all the time. How would I do it? I would make minute changes that can be seen in the world around us, okay? I would make minute changes that can be seen in the world around us that will not necessarily affect the timeline. This is how I would do it, okay? What better way to do it than make this very small changes? And now, of course, I would do other experiments beforehand, so maybe only I can see. But then, as a scientist, I would want to push it further. And that's the danger. That's why scientists can be very dangerous because they want to know, right? And they want to learn, right? And they want to see what happens, right? And if they are into the diabolicals, you can see where that can go. Okay. So, but with that, I would want to see, okay, once I do private ones, smaller ones, okay, that only I will notice, then I would say, can I do it to something larger or bigger, right? That affects the world or a large portion of the world. How about in the fruit of the loom here? How about we make an adjustment in time where we somehow, I'm not going to get too intricate with that, but we make an adjustment in time where we move the concopia from the fruit of the loom. That's it. Or we see the Mandela, that's a big one there. So that's a huge one actually. So that's something that will happen later after the basic changes, okay? Or let's say the Bernstein Bears. Just change it. You see what I'm saying here? Think of put yourself. If you're not a scientist and that seems a bit daunting to you, just in a moment, I want you to, we're going to do this a visualization, right? Many of you all here participate in the meditations and stuff, right? And we've been visualizing just the sun and visualizing a picturesque landscape. Okay, just visualize for a moment. We just playing a part here, only for a brief moment, that you are a scientist and you're one of the top scientists in your field, right? One of the top ones, baby. So in being one of the top ones, you are tasked with messing with time because the agents of chaos want to, who are paying your salary and stuff like that, right? They want to make it sure that they can be here forever. Okay. Okay, one moment here, you all. One moment. One moment. Okay, so they want to make sure that they can be here forever because what we call karma or the circle of energy, how the energy circles back around, right? They want to keep negating that, all right? So they task this top scientist, to find out how to manipulate time, right? And so these are different changes, like literally just turning the Bernstein Bears, right here, the Bernstein Bears to Bernstein Bears. Okay, that's a small change. Hopefully, many people won't notice. Just think about it, right? Really think about this. When it started to go around the internet like crazy, how long did it happen before it was actually noticed? You get what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody on the internet, across space and time. Everybody's just kind of, looking to, just find out things and everything else because, everyone here helps each other, right? So with that, how long did it go before the first person noticed that? You know what I'm saying? When did the change actually happen? Okay, that's a very strong interest here, right? So nevertheless, you would make small changes like that at first as a scientist, okay? Because you just want to go for the big boy, you don't want to do that, all right? Make small changes, all right? So like, for example, if this is actually, let's see, I'm trying to look for one because some of these I'm not sure are actually ones here, but nevertheless, but then eventually you'll work your way up, right? And then you'll actually do something like Nelson Mandela, literally, right? Because then you'll work your way up to something bigger. So making it like that, where a person who was supposed to, let's say, die in prison, decades ago, I think in the 90s or late 80s or something, to live to a old age and be the head of a, of the, kind of freedom movement and stuff like that, right? That's a big time change. So that if they did that and that was successful, okay, that was successful because in supposedly our reality here now, he lived to an old age, right? Right? He did not die in prison, right? So that means that's a big move there. Okay, that makes them feel very confident in the changes that they can make and send their agents in time, whether it be sending their agents in time or whether it be, again, this looks like a Stargate, right? So whether it be sending their agents through time, all right, through time, or whether it be somehow hitting particles a certain way that changes the timeline. Either or, it seems like in my theory anyway, that it is actually taking place. Okay. So very interesting. Very interesting. So anyhow, that's it for me today, everyone. Any comments, any questions from any of you all before we end the show? I hope that you enjoyed tonight's program.
This enchanted lullaby.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted lullaby. This enchanted lullaby.
Know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Tony, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.